So KARLSON is an unfinished game made by the YouTuber Dani, and people are still waiting for KARLSON to be released. But what you're looking at right now is not KARLSON. No, this is KARLSON's fan game. So here's the problem. I want to play KARLSON, but Dani has abandoned the game and his YouTube channel. So, of course, the only logical solution here is to make my own version of KARLSON. The first step to making a KARLSON clone is bean. Now we just have to make the bean able to move around just like in KARLSON. And what's so unique about KARLSON is the movement. The movement is smooth, and there are no restrictions on how much momentum you can build up, making it a speedrunner's dream game. Luckily, Dani made a video explaining how he made the movement. So, after yoinking all of the code, it now worked like a charm. But unfortunately, it didn't cover wall running. So, after some quick coding, we have some pretty solid movement. And I actually made a video on how to make the wall running yourself, so if you want, you can check that video out after this one, of course. Next up, the second step to making a KARLSON clone and tricking people into thinking it's real is obviously Billy. So I made this very cool Billy model in Blender. Now, to animate Billy, we need to use procedural animation. Now, procedural animations are basically animations, but procedural. Luckily, I am pretty smart, so it shouldn't be a problem for me to recreate... Oh, are you good there, Billy? In order to procedurally animate, we need to use inverse kinematics. So after watching a tutorial by Ditzel Games and hours of pain, we finally have a somewhat realistic Billy. I then recreated the first level of the full version of KARLSON. I added bounce pads, milk, realistic lighting, and the grid texture. And we can also throw objects and bully Billy like always. And for some reason, a lot of people want to know how I made the grid texture. So, for all of you dumbasses out there, all you have to do is just grab an existing prototype texture and just switch the base color to white and the border to black. Yeah, I know, super hard. Now that we have a testing room, step 3 is to add the guns. So I started off by modeling the guns, such as the AT-48 and the shotgun. Then I made the weapons be able to shoot. But each weapon has different abilities. For example, the shotgun can give the player a jump boost and is also able to one-shot enemies, but it has a low fire rate and can only be used for close range. Whereas the assault rifle has a higher fire rate with a longer range, but does less damage to enemies. I then made some weapon sway and recoil and also a pickup system. Pretty cool stuff. Now it is finally time to make the katana. But before we do that, let's first look at all the abilities the katana has. There are these blue blobs around the map that are called grapple points that the player can grapple onto with the katana. You can also, obviously, slice enemies. And finally, you can grapple onto enemies and then slice them. I know, sick, right? And before moving on, mind to remind you that KARLSON used to be the 38th most wishlisted game on Steam, so you should wishlist now. Anyway, I made this katana model in Blender, and this is what it looks like in-game. I then added some animations for the katana to chop enemies. I then had to make the grappling work, but luckily the milkman himself has a tutorial on how to make the grappler from KARLSON, so yoink! Thanks, Dani! And after working on Dani's code for a bit, we can finally see it in action. But what is the point of weapons if we don't have anything to shoot at? So I modeled the enemy bot in Blender, and using the same code from Billy's inverse kinematics, I made them look at the player and fire bullets when in sight. We can also chop them, and we are also enabled to grapple towards them. With all of the game elements out of the way, it's time to start working on the rest of the maps and the story. Some of you might remember that the first chapter takes place in a facility. This is where all the basics are introduced. I started off by making the main menu using the original as reference. Then I created the maps. The first two maps basically introduces the basic mechanics to the player, such as sliding, wall running, and jumping. The third map requires the player to use the shotgun knockback to progress through the level. And the fourth map introduces the katana, along with the grapple mechanic and enemies. And at the end of each map, you will find that sweet, sweet milk. Now I can already smell the comments telling me to publish the game and make it downloadable for everyone. And I already did! But you can't actually download the game. Let me explain. But before I do that, I just want to let you guys know that I created a Discord server where I will be posting some sneak peeks, updates, and future plans. So you should totally join it. Anyway, as I was saying, This whole story you just watched actually happened almost 5 years ago. I actually made the game in 2021 when Dani stopped uploading KARLSON devlogs to make the people sort of experience the full version of KARLSON. So I thought it would be a good idea to publish the game to itch.io. And it actually did pretty good. As you can see here are the analytics of the game. $30 in revenue, 24,000 views, and 11,000 downloads. And I believe it was at some point in the top 30 most popular games on itch.io. But as you can see here on January 2nd, 2022, I got shadow banned for obvious reasons, so you can't play the game anymore. And I won't republish the game out of respect for Dani. So I hope you liked the video. Don't forget to smash like and subscribe, and join my Discord, or don't. I don't know. Goodbye!